principle.
Thank you very much. Shri Sukhendu Sekhar Roy.
थैंक यू सर। जब हम इस बजट की ओर नज़र डालते हैं तो पहले पैराग्राफ 3 में आदरणीय वित्त मंत्री जी ने बहुत अच्छी ढंग से कविता सुनाई। उन्होंने एक कविता सुनाई कि कुछ तो फूल खिलाए हमने और कुछ फूल खिलाने हैं। बहुत अच्छा कविता है। तो हमको ये कविता सुनते हुए मुझे मोहम्मद रफ़ी साहब का एक पुराना गीत भी याद आ गया कि बहारों फूल बरसाओ, मेरा महबूब आया है, मेरा महबूब आया है। तो ये बजट आम जनता की महबूबा बन के आई है कि नहीं, सो तो देखना है। ना तो मैं अर्थशास्त्री हूं, ना ही अर्थशास्त्र का समझदार हूं। तो भाइयों और बहनों, ऑनरेबल मेंबर्स, मुझे माफ कर देना अगर मैंने कुछ गलत बोल दिया तो। मुझे लगता है कि ये जो बजट है ये एक कहानी है, और ये कहानी है तूफान और दिए की। इससे कॉरपोरेट तूफान मचा देगी और बेचारी आम जनता की आशा की दिया जो अभी भी जल रही है वो कहीं बुझ तो नहीं जाएगी, ये सवाल पैदा होता है। सर, the Babus of North Block has done a remarkable jugglery of statistics, and I shall come to that one after another. First of all, at the outset, I would like to show how the jugglery has been done. Taken at face value, because much has been talked about GDP growth, etc., etc., growth. And the story of growth is the inbuilt story of every budget. So this budget is no exception to that. So taken at face value, the Indian economy will grow by 7.4% this fiscal, outpacing China to become the world's fastest growing economy. But a revision in the method of calculation has left analysts and the government's own chief economic advisor doubting how far the data can be trusted. The GDP growth in 2010-11 was calculated based on factor cost, which has now been changed to constant prices to take into account gross value addition in goods and services as well as indirect taxes. Besides, the base year has been shifted to 2011-12 from 2004-5 earlier. Sir, the Statistics Ministry had pegged the previous year's growth at 6.9% as against 4.7% estimated previously, a revision which led to some economists, including RBI Governor Sri Raghuram Rajan, seeking more clarity. And Mr. Rajan is on record saying, the RBI Governor, sorry, I should not take the name, the RBI Governor is on record saying that we do need to spend more time to understanding the GDP numbers. So here the jugglery starts. And now, sir, the story of financial empowerment to states. I need not say anything on this because of my little knowledge in economics. However, I may quote the opinion of a former finance minister of India. I quote the opinion of a former finance minister of India which was published in the Hindu newspaper on 3rd of this month, which inter alia states, and I quote, the Finance Commission's recommendations of raising the share of states in the divisive pool of central taxes from 32% to 42% has been cleverly managed. The states' share in absolute numbers budget estimates to budget estimates. Previous year's budget estimates to the current year's budget estimate has gone up from this year to the next by around rupees 1.36 lakh crore. At the same time,
Who is this form of finance?
at the same time, I will come to that. At the same time, the central plan assistance to the states has gone down from rupees 3,38,000 crore to rupees 2,05,000 crore. Therefore, the two cancel each other out. Sir, he continued, the opinion continues, and I quote, thus the net additional resources transferred to the states, including states' share of taxes and duties, non-pen grants and loans, central assistance to state plans, assistance for central and centrally sponsored schemes is only 64,000 crore in 2015-16. 64,000 to be distributed among 29 states and 5 union territories. Sir, this is the state of affair that has been projected by the former Finance Minister of India. If I say the name, one of the Minister of State, Honorable Minister of State, presently sitting in this house, may be embarrassed, so I am not taking the name. But one should understand that who has said this. Thank you, sir. Now, the question of special assistance. So much drum has been beaten, and drum beating started before the budget was placed before this house or the other house, that special assistance to West Bengal and Bihar particularly. My Bihar people should listen to me because they are our neighbors. That special assistance has been given for West Bengal and Bihar. And the Honorable Finance Minister during his budget speech also announced that special financial package for Bihar and West Bengal. But nothing is visible in this budget speech, sir. Nothing is visible that any amount of special package, any type of special package has been sanctioned for Bihar or West Bengal.
Silence, please.
Of course.
Please.
Later, the Honorable Finance Minister clarified that special assistance was not in terms of money. Special assistance was not in terms of money, but it would be some incentive to the investors towards tax exemption, provided the investors go to Bihar and Bengal and invest in manufacturing sector in those states. So that is the special package for Bihar and West Bengal. No other state should be envious of that Bihar and West Bengal, they are getting special package from the central government, they are deprived of. This is the picture that I have tried to project here. Sir, this is also the story of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. So now I would like to refer to the document, that is the report of the Finance Commission Volume 1, published in December 2014. Only a few lines. Only a few lines, sir. At page 89, paragraph 8.10, Finance Commission, while making its recommendations, they decided what they have observed. A related issue in the assessment of vertical imbalance is the issue of the non-divisible pool of resources, namely cess and surcharges. Now, what the Finance Commission has assessed, 14th Finance Commission, the first line says of this paragraph that the share of cess and surcharges in gross tax revenue of the union government has increased from 7.53% in 2000-2001 to 13.14% in 2013-14. Therefore, it has almost gone double compared to the cess and surcharges collected by the central government in the year 2000 and 2001. Sir, the states have argued, it continues, the states have argued that this denies the states their rightful share in the devolution. Now the observation of the Finance Commission is that earlier finance commissions, successive finance commissions had recommended that union government review the current position with respect to the non-divisive pool arising out of cess and surcharges and take measures to reduce their share in the gross tax revenue. However, this has not happened. There are two ways of addressing this legitimate concern of the states. What are those two items? What are the two ways to address the system? One, by amending the constitution to include these items in the divisive pool, cess and surcharge, or increase the share of the divisive pool to compensate states on this account. And we rule out the first option given the record of experience so far. Therefore, although successive finance commissions have recommended for that, the center remained mute spectator to the report. They did not move an inch ahead to implement the recommendations of the successive finance commission. Therefore, the 14th Finance Commission has said that the amendment to the constitution is a distant possibility now. But this government has come out with so many amendments to the constitution. Why not another amendment to the Constitution of India so that the cess and surcharge also include in the divisive pool? This is the question that I would like to raise in this House during this discussion, sir. Now, on a comparative study between budget estimates of 2014 and 15 and 2015-16, it shows that net resources transferred to states and union territories has increased by 63,997 crores. That is only 1.5% of the central's gross tax revenue, whereas central shares of category B and C schemes will come down to 66,233 crores. Therefore, on the one hand, the states are getting 63,997 crores of the central gross tax revenue, and on the other, the B category and C category schemes of the central government will not come down to 66,233 crores. Therefore, the net loss for the states compared to previous years will be rupees 2,226 crores during the 2015-16 financial year. Sir, moreover, if the state has to sustain the BRFG program and other smaller schemes, this budget has not provided a single paisa for those schemes. All the expenses shall have to be borne by the states only. Center will not allot a single paisa. This is how story of centers cash spread to states, lavish only on papers. Sir, now the allocation in different schemes. Many honorable members has mentioned about that. Maybe some repetitions here or there, but I cannot but mention some of them. On a quick look as to how the allocation in different schemes has been slashed shows that allocation for welfare of scheduled caste, my BSP friends, you always advocate for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. Now I am giving a figure. For welfare of scheduled caste has come down to rupees 30,851 crores in 15-16 compared to rupees 43,208 crores in 14-15. That is about 13,000 crores reduction in the case of welfare of scheduled caste. What about tribal welfare? It has come down to rupees 19,980 crores in 15-16 from rupees 26,714 crores in 14-15. That is almost 8,000 crores less than the previous years for tribal welfare. Sir, reduction of allocation during the coming fiscal compared to previous year in regard to ICDS and midday meal schemes, my good friend Pawan Verma has already mentioned and left, that has come down by a half from over rupees 16,000 crores to just 8,000 crores in 15 and 16. So this is the government's plan for ICDS and midday meal. This is the plan of the government for women welfare and child welfare. Sir, the budgetary allocation for housing and poverty alleviation has been reduced from rupees 6,008 crores in the previous year to rupees 5,634 crores in the current budget. Budgetary allocation for tribal development is short by 5,000 crores, I have already mentioned. Budget for Sarva Shiksha Abhijan has been reduced by 9.5%. Much touted Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao gets only rupees 100 crores. 100 crores. I wonder whether this is a budget of the central government or a Jila Panchayat. I cannot understand that rupees 100 crores has been allocated only for Beti Padhao, Beti Bachao. Much drum beating was made. And what my state has done, West Bengal, led by the Honorable Chief Minister Srimati Mamata Banerjee, the state government has allocated rupees 850 crores for Kanyastree project, which has been acclaimed and accepted even by the United Nations. Even yesterday, the Honorable Minister Manekaji, she was also praising that Kanyastree project like anything in her reply to the on the issue of child development and women development. Manekaji is also praising. So this is the situation of the central government. Beti padhao, beti bachao. कैसे पढ़ेगी, कैसे बचेगी, 100 करोड़ से सारा देश में ये तो आंकड़े कहाँ से आएगी, पैसा कहाँ से आएगी, मालूम नहीं. The symbolic increase in allocation for Manrega will make the survival struggle of the poorer people more painful in the context of galloping inflation. Sir, all of us know the Millennium Development Report 2014 of the United Nations, and I repeat again and again whenever I get a chance, that India is a land where world's 1/3 poorest of the poor live, and their number is 40 crores. 40 crores is also 1/3 of our total population. What is in this budget about those 40 crore people who are the poorest of the poor in the world? No answer, no mention, not a single word has been attributed by the central government in this central budget. It is a shame on the part of the central government, I must say. Sir, however, that is important. First part may not be so important. Now it is important that the Honorable Finance Minister has assured that he will allocate additional rupees 5,000 crore to Manrega only if, there is some ifs and buts, only if there is increase in revenue receipt. So we will have to wait. Only if there is increase in revenue receipt, then the Honorable Finance Minister will allocate rupees 5,000 in Manrega. This is the position. Wait and stand. Sir, बंगाली में कहावत है. बंगाली में कहावत है, सुनिए जरा, बंगाली में कहावत है. 7 मन तेलो पुड़बे ना, राधाओ नाचबे ना. और मैं उसी को मैं हिंदी में कहता हूँ. नहीं, ना तो गिरधर की मुरली बजेगी, ना मधुबन में राधिका नाचेगी. मधुबन में राधिका नाचे रे, गिरधारी का मुरलिया बाजे रे. यहाँ तो ना तो मुरली बजेगी ना राधिका नाचेगी. ऐसा प्रबंध किया गया. Central allocation to education sector has been reduced by 32,912 crore in the education sector, and the housing schemes for poor reduced by rupees 14,887 crores as well in this budget. These are the achievements of this government. बीजेपी का कोई मित्र यहाँ बोल रहे थे, बहुत आदरणीय मित्र है, मैं उनको बहुत आदर करता हूँ, कदर करता हूँ। बहुत सफलता, कैसे सफलता मिल गई, कैसे अमृत पिलवा जा रहा है, ये तो समुंदर का मंथन हो रहा है। ये देवता बन गए और इसलिए अमृत पान कर रहे हैं। तो हलाहल कौन पान करेगा? हलाहल तो आम जनता को ही पान करने पड़ेगा। ये ऐसा ही समुंदर मंथन हो रहा है यहाँ। In our childhood we are taught that health is wealth, but this budget does not approve that. This is why health allocation in this budget has been reduced by rupees 2,011 crores, that is 5.7% reduction, whereas my government, my state government, Mamata Banerjee's government, has raised the health allocation by 16.91% in this budget. So a state can do, central cannot do. Central is reducing. Sir Gandhiji once said that India live in villages. And therefore, the villagers primarily live on agriculture. ये सरकार किसानों का सरकार है, ये सरकार गरीबों का सरकार है। ऐसा भाषण हम बहुत सुना चुनाव के पहले। जितने गरीब है, जितने किसान है, हमारे पास आ जाओ, हम तुमको सही रास्ते पे ले जाएंगे, बताए गए थे। अभी क्या अच्छे दिन आ गए। अब क्या देख रहे हैं बजट में? ये सरकार कृषि क्षेत्र में आवंटन, जो कि 2014-15 में 9.5 थे, वो घटाकर इस वित्त वर्ष में, मतलब आने वाले वित्त वर्ष में 2.7% कर दिया। कृषि क्षेत्र में भी घटा दिया। और वे बोलते हैं कि हम किसान की सरकार है, गरीबों की सरकार है। Notwithstanding the fact that this will severely hurt the rural Indians and also lead to a decline in agricultural growth. एग्रीकल्चरल ग्रोथ घट जाएगा, थक जाएगा, कोई सोच विचार नहीं है। कॉर्पोरेट चिल्ला रहे हैं। Even the ruling party has forgotten its election manifesto. 2 बुलेट पॉइंट इलेक्शन मैनिफेस्टो से मैं रेफर करना चाहता हूं। The election manifesto of BJP party made a tall promise that it would increase public investment in agriculture and would also enhance profitability in agriculture by ensuring at least 50% profits over cost of production. और इसलिए एग्रीकल्चर एलोकेशन को इस तरह घटा दिया गया ताकि उनका इलेक्शन मैनिफेस्टो पूरी हो। ये इलेक्शन मैनिफेस्टो पूरी होने का वायदा है, रास्ता है। Sir, at least 7 schemes in agriculture sector, because paucity of time I cannot show that. At least 7 schemes in the agriculture sector have got arbitrarily reduced. The allocation has been arbitrarily reduced. Sir, allocation for National Food Security Mission has been reduced from rupees 18,304 crores in 14-15 to rupees 13,000 crores in 15-16. So this government wants to secure food for the poor people, and this is why the allocation has been reduced. Global Hunger Index, I have already mentioned, describes the situation in India as alarming. The budgetary allocation made under food subsidy head should have been higher for eradicating hunger and malnutrition. But here, this is the opposite route that the government has adopted. Sir, the Honorable Finance Minister did not utter, even for once in his budget speech, that sacred book, that government's concern on food security in his budget. Anywhere in his speech, nowhere he has mentioned about the government's concern about food security, which the earlier government, I must say, they try to enforce and implement. Sir, rather it is clear from the budget speech of the Honorable Finance Minister that the government is more inclined to corporate welfare. Corporate welfare by slashing corporate tax. This apart, the government, percentage I am not mentioning, everybody knows. This apart, the government revenue foregone in the form of incentive and tax exemption to corporates in the current fiscal is estimated to grow over rupees 62,398 crores, and the beneficiaries would be only the corporates, who are microscopic minorities among the 125 crore population of our country. So this budget, although the Honorable Finance Minister claimed that हमारे सरकार कॉर्पोरेट की भी है, आम जनता की भी है, लेकिन मैंने जो आंकड़े दिखाया है वो बजट से निकाल के, वो आंकड़े सारे गरीबों के खिलाफ है, किसानों के खिलाफ है और कॉर्पोरेट का पक्ष में है। ये सरकार कॉर्पोरेट का सरकार है, ये सरकार कॉर्पोरेट के निर्देश पर चलती है और यही नतीजा है कि बजट में ऐसा रिफ्लेक्शन आया है। सर, श्री अरुण जेटली जी, I respect him, as everyone respects him. He belongs to our बिरादरी, कानूनी बिरादरी। हम उसको बहुत इज्जत करते हैं, सारा हिंदुस्तान करते हैं। श्री अरुण जेटली जी, when he was the leader of opposition sitting over here, once he said, if I correctly remember, subject to correction he is not here, but subject to correction, it must be in the records of the proceedings. Sir, when he was the leader of the opposition, once said that IT exemption should be to the extent of rupees 5 lakhs. And how much exemption he has granted this year in this budget, I need not elaborate. Therefore, there is no room for the middle class even to rejoice over this budget. Another important factor is, sir, the implementation of GAR, General Anti-Avoidance Rules. We have heard enough of it. On a number of occasions, over the years, myself putting questions year after year. What about the implementation of GAR? Previous government said in the budget speech, the former finance minister, that it will be effective from 1st April 2016. And now, what has been said in this budget? That GAR will be deferred. GAR will be deferred for 2 years, maybe for an indefinite period, I do not know. Because I would like to quote only one question, answered question of mine, sir. Only 1 minute I will take, and I will end, I promise. I put a question about the implementation of GAR, and what was the reply? One line reply. GAR will be, sir, please, 1 minute. GAR will be applicable to the income of financial year 2015-16, within bracket assessment year 2016-17, and subsequent years. This is the reply given by the Honorable Finance Minister to my unanswered question number 3364 on 23rd of December 2014. What happened between 2 months, December and February, that the government had to decide to defer the GAR for 2 years or for indefinite period? So therefore, now I coming to the conclusion that on a final analysis, I must say that this budget is absolutely anti-people, full of rhetorics and jugglery of statistics. And it appears to me that same has been drafted by a fortune teller and reminds me Oscar Wilde, who once said, and I quote one line, someone who knows the price of everything and value of nothing, unquote. इस बजट हमको शायद ये बोल रही है, ये बजट, कि तुम अपने सोच की जंगल में राह भटको, तुम अपने सोच की जंगल में राह भटको और फिर खो जाओ, अब सो जाओ। Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sukhendu Roy.